What's going on, Tick? What's going on, people? How y'all doing? Grinding Unwind, episode 43. Allergy season is on the rise. My eyes are puffier than P. Diddy's first name. No Diddy. I am here in the building. I'm going to bring my boy on in a couple seconds. Sean Malto is ready. He's ready to talk. We got a lot of things to talk about, talk with, talk everything. We're just going to get right into it. There he is. Look at that hair. Oh, my God. All right. What's going on, Sean Malto? How you doing?
I'm good. I've never used Twitch before, so this might get a little weird. I don't know. I think is everything sounding good? We're all
Everything's
straight.
sounding good, looking good. It looks like you're in like a 4 a.m. fog, but that's fine. Other than that, we all good. Looks good.
All right.
Quality's fine. We're chilling. We're happy. We're glad to have you here. Now, Sean, hey, man, you've literally been in this industry a while. People might know about you, but for some that don't, this is what Grind and Wine's about. We talk, chat it up, see what's going on. Where does the story start for Sean Malto?
Yeah, I don't know. Where do we start? I
Like
mean,
your
you
life
want to
story.
go
Let's go life.
like where I was born?
Yes, sir.
All right. I was born in Haverty Grace, Maryland. Random. Yeah.
Hell
A
is
lot
that?
of it's just a army base because my dad was in the military. So
Wow.
um, yeah, so Maryland, and I left when I was 6 months old, and I've never been back.
There you go.
And
So
then
you really not from there at
um,
all.
no. That's why I don't know. Everybody just is like, "You're born in Kansas City, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." It's just easier to say yes
There you go.
than to actually explain it. So
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, so I was born there, and then my dad was in the military, so he traveled around a lot. But my grandparents were in Kansas.
Okay.
So that's where my dad that's where we settled in, and that's where he retired, and that's where I started skating, and that's kind of like where I mean that was like where I grew up.
Okay.
Um
So you're in this Maryland. What is your nationality, Sean?
I am Filipino.
Full
Yeah, half Filipino, half
and
Filipino.
half Filipino
And
and
the other half, I'm gonna be honest, I don't
I
exactly
knew
know.
it.
My mom is just
I knew it.
a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman, you know?
I knew it. I knew you didn't know. I had
Yeah.
a feeling deep down you didn't know what your other half was. So shout out to
It's
that.
it's what's really funny is most people are like, "What are you?" And I'm like, "I'm half Filipino." And they're like, "Cool." It never goes past that.
Yep.
90% of the time, never goes past that.
Because that's the only half that
Um,
they looking for. I'm looking for the other half. That's what I be
yeah.
looking for. Just like I want to know Costin's other half. I'm not sure what it is. I know it's like something somewhere in there.
I I bet he doesn't know either.
I bet he doesn't. And I'm gonna
I
ask him when I
know.
find him. I'm gonna ask him when one day I'm gonna get him. Anyways,
We
well, so you go to Kansas City. That's where you go to Kansas. That's where your grandparents are. Basically, where all you do all the growing up, you experience most of life. That's where you run into your first skateboard. How does that happen?
Yes. So I have three older brothers.
Okay, fine.
Um,
You're the baby.
so I'm the youngest, a youngest of four. And we would go to this pool on Fort Leavenworth base, and across the street from the pool, there was a DIY skate park and like a tennis court.
Oh wow.
And I would just go to the pool and I would just look over and be like, "Damn, I want to do that. Like that's what I want to do." So I just like cruised over there, um, and just started talking to the people, and like thank God they were cool. That doesn't usually happen like
Yeah.
that. But they're like, "Yeah, here you go. Take it for like 20 minutes." And then I would just like skate around. And I remember this guy, Sean Campbell, uh, who was like, I was so intimidated by him. He had this old like Geo tracker car, and he had the biggest Spitfire sticker. Like it was seriously like as big as my body, like covering the entire hood.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, he's sick. Like, damn, that's awesome." And then he was like, "You know what? Like, here, I have this old board. Just take it. You can have it."
Wow.
And I was like, "Damn."
A dude named Sean.
And then that's Sean Campbell. Yeah, that's just where it started. And then, yeah, just skated every day since. I was 10 years old when I first got that board.
Now, I always ask everybody what they did before skateboarding, but you started at 10. So, was there like, were you just like a regular kid kind of messing around? Were you into anything else before skateboarding?
This is pretty funny, and I've actually said it a bunch before, but I rollerbladed.
That's all right. That's all right. Hey,
It's,
hey,
I mean,
hey, you have a part in Pretty Sweet. You can say whatever you did. If you ballerinaed, if
I'm
you crumped, I don't care if you made bacon wrap hot dogs on the corner without a permit, son. You good here.
I
Safe
I
space.
I s- I straight up like my brothers and I'm gonna blame this on my brothers,
There
but
you
we
go.
rollerbladed
There you
and
go.
I followed them into it. And like straight up like I was like soul grinding like 10 stair rails. Like I was in it. I was we were filming rollerblade parts.
Do you have these
And
clips?
the
Do you have this footage?
I have them somewhere. They're on a VHS somewhere.
Wow.
But I was like,
Burn that shit. Burn it.
I remember being like, I was like, I don't want to rollerblade anymore. All I want to do is skate. But my brothers like were making fun of me, and I was like, oh, my ankle hurts. I can't put on the rollerblade. I just got to ride the skateboard. And then I just was like, and I just never went back. I was like, this is my excuse just to get out of this. And looking back on it now, I'm like, man, rollerblading is probably way easier on your ankles. But yeah, so straight up rollerbladed for like 2 or 3 years before I like
Damn.
started skating at 10. And I think that was the other thing, like the DIY park that we used to look at, right,
Mm-hmm.
from the pool. Like there was no way we were allowed to like go rollerblade
Rollerblade over there.
there.
Yeah, they would have jumped y'all.
Yeah, they were
They
like,
would have jumped y'all.
exactly.
Facts.
So I think like cruising over there was like, all right, if you want to hang out with us, this is what you're gonna skate. And I was like, all right. So here's a skateboard, and I was like, I'm gonna hang out with them. Like this is what I want to do.
This the
And
crew.
then yeah, and then my brothers were like, two of not the oldest one never skated, but the other two are actually really good.
At skating.
Um, oh yeah, like nollie flip back 50 hubbas and shit. Like
No.
good.
There's other
Yeah.
Maltos that rip.
Like it's like the little brother syndrome, right? They learn
Tight.
a trick, I have to learn a trick.
Okay.
And the funny thing is one of my brothers was really like he was kind of like he's like snowboardy kind of daredevil guy, you know what I mean? Like he would go like he would try like early grab backflips off launch ramps,
Oh
you know?
shit.
And
Okay.
like
So he's
he would be
intense.
like he was like I'm going to board slide the biggest rail I could find. And then my other brother was like, "Oh, I'm gonna learn nollie flip crooks, and I'm gonna learn like switch flip 50s and things like that." And so for me, I was like, I gotta be better than both of them. So I was like,
Because I left them to do this, so they can't be better than me
I
at this.
I was like, I'm the younger brother. They have older friends. I'm like, I'm definitely not getting left behind. So it was like when my brother like board slid a big rail, I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to lip slide it. And if my other brother could like nollie flip crook, I was like, I'm gonna try to nollie flip crook the hubba, or I'm gonna try to like nollie flip front 50 and things like that. So it just kind of like looking back on it is really funny just being competitive with my brothers. Like it just helped me out in the long run, you know?
Facts. How big was that big
Yeah.
rail considered with your youth? Was like, are we talking like he went out and did a 15, or what did your brother go board slide?
My brother, I would say the biggest he went was probably like a 14. I
Okay.
think he tried to board slide. Maybe he did board slide a 15, but
Jesus, bro. You
he
gotta
was
just
like my oldest brother was definitely injury prone.
you
Like
military
he
kids, bro. It just, you know what I'm saying? Y'all grow up on these bases. You don't get to really live
yeah.
nowhere too long. Thankfully, y'all got to stay in Kansas, but like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all be just like balls to the wall. So y'all went out there, fearless as ever, Filipino as hell, not knowing the other half, just all organically leaving rollerblading behind and getting good at skating. How long did that process take for you guys to get familiar with skating? Was it pretty quick? Like, did you get skateboarding? Did all of you guys kind of get it kind of fast?
Yeah, I mean, we all like fell in love with it. So we were all like in it, but we didn't really know because we were like, our bubble was Fort Leavenworth. Like, we never
Yeah.
really left the
Yeah.
base, right? So we were going out street skating and like we would get mags and like I remember my first video I ever watched was Fulfill the Dream.
Oh damn.
And I
Okay.
was
Yep.
like, damn, this is sick. Like
Yeah.
Steve Olson's rolling off the roof to board slide the rail. Like, what? I was
Different.
like, I wanted Steve Olson was my favorite skater. I was like, I want to skate like him.
Damn.
And then I had shorties everything growing up. I was like so psyched. But yeah, so we were just like, whatever, this is what they do. We're just gonna go find spots in on base that we could try to do what they were doing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And we didn't really know shops or anything. We would always just order like blank boards from CCS or whatever. I didn't really know brands, and um, then that's when I found Let It Ride, which the owners uh, turned it into Escapist.
What's oh
So
wow. What?
yeah, it used so Escapist, the original owners, Dan Askew, Nick Owen,
Yeah.
had this shop called Let It Ride.
Okay.
So that's I like went to Let It Ride and I was like, oh my god, there's like all these skateboard brands, and they were like hella cool. They like set up a bunch of boards for me, and my first pro model I ever bought was a Trainwreck Zero board,
Woo!
7.5, and I was like, and then In Bloom came out, and I was like, oh my god,
Well, here we go.
yeah,
So
this is it. This is what I want to do.
this is what we own now. So
Yeah,
you go over to this shop. How far is Escapist now, Let It Ride then? How far is that from the
yeah,
base?
probably 45 minutes.
Okay. And then who kind of like
Yeah.
got you guys to go over there, or how'd you hear about it? Because we're talking a little, not to make you feel old, we older now, but this is a little before social. This is a little before a lot of easy access ways to find out something's close by. So how did you gravitate to over
Yeah.
there?
So it was my brother was definitely older than me. So he got his license, and then we
Okay.
were like, oh, hell yeah. Now we could like drive somewhere out
We
of the
out.
base. So like, you map quest to like skate parks, and
Mm-hmm.
then you just go to the park. And then at that time, all the shops would just have to be close to the park. Like that's what
That's
they
what you
did,
did.
right?
Yep.
So we went to the park. It's called North Park in Kansas City, and we are just skating the park, and then someone's like, "Oh, there's a shop down the street that you have to check out," and then that's kind of how it all worked. It was just word of mouth from the skate park, um,
That's how you just got the
and
knowledge.
yeah, we just got the knowledge that way, and then yeah, then it was like that was it. Once we found that, it was like, all right, we don't need CCS anymore. We just go to the shop, and just go
Go
kick it.
pull up. We gonna
Yeah,
pull up. So now that you're getting a part of the shop family, you seeing all these brands. You're like you say, you're watching the videos. You see in Bloom. You're like, whoa, okay, this is sick. And now your skating obviously gets better from there.
yeah.
Did you film a tape for them? You was doing the rollerblade tapes, but did you put a tape in for them? Come on now. Did you
So
send Let It Ride a tape?
yeah. So what happened was there was this shop called well, to back up, there's like these like little contests popping up around KC, right?
Okay.
And so I like showed up to one. I was super like, 11 or 12 years old,
Young.
and the I think I got fifth place. Dude, I
Okay.
lost my first contest to Dan Askew, which is the owner of Escapist, which is funny.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he beat me in a contest. Um, and it was sick. I remember his run so clearly. Started in the mini ramp, came out, backsmith,
Oh,
back
it
180
haunts
the
you.
ledge. It was
It
like,
haunts you in the best way.
oh, he killed me. I was like, all right. And what sucked is what sucked for me is the winner got to a trip out to California to go skate in like the qualifiers, whatever. And I really wanted that. And like, Dan beat me.
Damn.
So anyways, from that, this guy came up and he was like, "Hey, I'm starting this shop. I'm gonna call it Lovely." And I was like, "Cool." And he was like, "I'll give you like two T-shirts and a pair of trucks." And I was like, I'm down. That's
sure.
it. I made it. That's all I need.
I'm
good.
I'm good. I'm moving out.
Yeah. A pair of trucks, that shit'll last me like 5 years back then.
Hey.
Like, we're good.
Everybody wants to give you boards. Boards a month maybe if you really skate.
Yeah.
Trucks are a lifetime, son. That boy gave you two t-shirts. That means rotation, wash and dry. One, keep one on for a week. You know, we boys turn our drawers inside out. So, you know what I'm saying? That's a real. So you say I'm going with him. I'm gonna go to Lovely. I'm gonna skate for Lovely.
Well, I was like, I'm down. And so whatever. I go to there. They have like a little shop, and they're still friends of mine. They're really cool. But like, I got some shirts, whatever. But they were like, you know, they were like a more screen printing place. Like,
okay,
they were doing like shirts for other people, with like a little shop. But I remember going to a Warp Tour.
okay.
Those were like big things in Kansas City because there was like, there's a vert ramp, and I'm like, we had never seen vert ramps before, so we're like, oh, we get to go watch vert. Like, I that was the only place I could ever see a vert ramp. So we'd go to Warp Tour, and there's a vert ramp. I'd watch like John Cromer just kill it. It was so sick.
Any relation to Brad? It's just a joke. I just try to.
Is it? Yeah. Well, at first I was like, did I mess his name up?
Nah, sometimes they just don't stick.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Sometimes they don't stick. It's all good, Sean. But yeah, so you got this vert
ramp. My bad.
Y'all wearing big shoes and shit. Yeah. It's good, son. Sometimes
it's good. And then on the mini ramp, I was skating, and I had a Lovely shirt, and I just Dan Askew was skating the mini ramp with me, and I was straight up just like, hey, and this was at the time when they went from Let It Ride to Escapist, and I was like, hey, dude, can I ride for Escapist? Like, I'd love to do that. And he was like, I think, like,
for sure.
Let's get you out, like, hanging with some people. And I was like, okay. And then he, like, we all know each other, you know? So he called the guys Lovely. They were like, cool, whatever. I went out skating with all the Escapist people. And that was like, at the time, that was Aaron Shalene was like filming all the local videos. You know Aaron Shalene, who did like the house video. He filmed for Deluxe forever. Yes.
So I'm saying, some cats, Sean, is by face and by job. Like, if I see them with the camera, I remember that they are the guy from over there.
Yeah.
But first name basis.
Anyways, he was like, hey, come skate. He was like, come skate with us. And I was like, of course, I'm down. And then that's when we started filming for Through Being Nice.
Oh my goodness.
That local video in KC, and then everything kind of started to take off. You're 12? Right there, I was probably 11 or 12.
Yeah, you were 12 with getting. So you get on the Escapist team. You're with the crew. You start filming for this video. It just had made its like pivotal turn from Let It Ride. And now you're like, okay, I went from 2 trucks and a t-shirt to really being part of like what is the main shop around here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I know this is adding fuel to your fire. Are any of your brothers getting hooked up, or is it just you kind of going on this journey?
No, it's just kind of me.
Damn.
You know, they were like part of it. You know what I mean? Like,
of course.
Like my sponsorship at the time, it was I got 2 boards a month, and I was like, dude, that is all I need for the rest of my life.
It's golden.
And you know, I would like, they would always hook my brothers up and whatever. So we were all like, they would give them boards. They'd give them like 1 or 2 a month or whatever, you know? So we were all kind of just cruising together, skating together. And then that's when I started filming and actually like, you know, going to street spots and trying to do tricks that I didn't know how to do. You know what I mean? Trying to like progress. And, yeah. Just like, I don't know. I could back lip. Does that mean I could back nose blunt? Let's just go try it somewhere.
Jesus.
And that's just kind of like how it evolved and whatever. And then that's when, you know, from there, I started to actually get a collection of street footage together.
Okay.
And then I was like able to, I didn't know how to do this at the time because it was so long ago. But my friend was like, Aaron Shaleen, he was like, oh yeah, we could put it onto a VHS and then we can look up the website of companies and we can mail it in. And I was like, okay, cool. So
you just gave up how old you are without even saying it. If just by that, because that's
how it was.
You could just find bro, DM bro. That's how it is today.
Boom.
Today, you gotta take your footage, put it on a tape, mail it to people that don't even check their mail. Skaters do not, bro. Hell no, they wasn't checking their mail. Emails, mail, none of that shit. So you had to go do that. You had to go the hard way. But do they tell you like, okay, we got the board thing figured out. Let's try to get you some shoes. Let's try to get you like, what are you breaking it up as? Or are you just trying to send it to a board company? What's the focus?
No, we're like, so like there becomes a point where it starts to turn a little bit, and like I don't necessarily see it. But what was cool is like Dan, Askew, Nick, Owen, like the owners of Escapist, and then like some of the people on that were like filming, they were like, hey, we could like, I think you might be able to do something here. Like let's send it out to a few companies and see, right? And then it was like, all right. And to be honest, like I was like such a zero kid. Mm-hmm. Like I loved zero. Yeah, and Jamie Thomas came through KC. In KC, there's like a lot of handrails, so that we would love, like, Zero's the handrail company, right?
Of course.
So Jamie came through KC, and I remember handing him the VHS tape, like, "Hey, dude, like, whatever," and never got hit back.
Hell no.
And I was like, kind of devastated. But we sent it to DC, and then Dan was like, "Hey, the Girl is a sick company," and he just sent it out without even me knowing.
So they was just like, you just this child prodigy that they just shipping. But I want to tell you something.
Sent it out.
Mind you, due to the fact Jamie Thomas is my homie, love him to death, legend, chief, dodged the bullet. Listen, no, don't respond. You did. I'm glad he took the tape and threw it to the back of the van. I'm just telling you right now, as is Sean Malto, I'm glad. Maybe not during that time, because during that time they had Toy Story t-shirts and shit. They was doing all right. But dodge the bullet. Okay. You messed up, Jamie. That's your fault. That's okay. Jamie Thomas, I love you, Chief. Call my phone if you mad. I'm going to answer after I missed the call and say I missed it. I'm going to watch it ring because I'm scared. But listen, you dodged the bullet. That's okay. So as we move on.
Jamie and I are friends still.
Love him to death.
I love that dude. I respect him. And I would have been hyped at the time, but I am very happy where I ended up and how it happened.
That's right. So Dan, who actually has a heart and soul for you, sends your shit over to Girl, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, he sent my shit to Girl and was like, I get a call from Sam Smythe because, in these VHSs, you have to write your info down. Like you write down your shit. Right. So I get a call from Sam Smythe and he's just like, hey, we got your tape. Like, we want to send you some boards. And I was like, all right, are you kidding? Like, of course. Like, of course.
You're very aware of Smythe. You're like very aware of like the magnitude.
Well, I don't know. So I don't know. Smythe, I didn't know who he was, but he was like, hey, I'm a team manager for Girl Skateboards. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, whatever. But in the box they sent was the DVD of Yeah Right.
Hold on, I gotta close my window. 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I didn't want the hood to hear this whole story real quick. Hold on.
Yeah.
So in your box to get on the team is Yeah Right?
So it was right when Yeah Right DVD was coming out. And this was like at a time when you can't watch the video online. You know what I mean? Like you got to wait for the DVD.
Yes, bro. That's when skateboarders were able to make money because we were treasures, because we made projects that people couldn't find or leak the footage or anything. We had to wait till the guy that made the video. for anything to get seen. There wasn't a random person eating at the Chick-fil-A in Hollywood Boulevard filming you skate the 16 and your trip not mattering. So yes.
Exactly. It's not Chris Cole back 3 park and the shit is everywhere before it even hits it's this was like, I had no idea what was going on. This video, changed my life.
Yes.
Like, I was like, okay. I at first was like almost devastated of how good these guys were. Like, I was like, this is a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And I still think that video stands the test of time. I think that's my favorite video
hold
ever.
on now.
Yeah.
So I know the kids have like these conversations. See, I'm a YouTube guy. I kept it classic. I don't like Instagram. I don't like social media. I don't get this Twitch shit. I don't get none of it. I'm just on it because I know how to run my goddamn mouth at a pace where I don't really stutter. The only thing that I can tell you, though, Sean, is these kids think that they are pushing the envelope. Mind you, yes, there is very, very talented guys coming out today, and they are learning skateboarding at a pace and able to put combos or tricks together. But those classic videos have some of the gnarliest skating on 7.5 skateboards that we have ever seen.
Insane.
Now, you got to think about somebody. Oprah Winfrey just put into the chat. That's not real Oprah. Okay. I want y'all know that real quick. That's just a disclaimer. That's just somebody that, like how they stole the Sean Malto name, they got that name. So the invisible board section, the skits, the right moments, not knowing if it was real, if it wasn't too obvious or not. But bro, that video is so good, Sean. That
it is so good.
Start to finish. There's like 1 or 2 parts. Start to finish, okay, is one of the most complete videos of all time, bro. And it's like, holy hell, you know? So, but yeah, so you
the intros, the green boards, the creative direction, everything.
You feel me? He said, name the 2.
I feel you.
He said, name the 2 parts. Bro told me to name the 2 parts. Like, that boy told me to name the 2 parts. Like, I ain't got to go pull up the places.
Yeah.
You feel me? I can name them. I'm ready to squabble anybody. I'm telling you, but I'm just not finna do all that right now. You feel me, James? I'm not finna. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, James. That's for later, James. We'll talk about that
exactly.
next time. Yeah,
next time. So, but yeah, so Sean on here too. He gotta get. You feel me? So, you get this video. You get this box. How many boards are in that box?
I get it. Like, the box had 4 boards, but they were all different shapes. So I had to figure out which shape I liked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and I think what's funny is the biggest board they had at that time was a 775.
It's insane, bro.
Like, it hadn't gone to the 8s yet. So I was on 7.5. Mike Carroll, like, that, just ship it. That's what I need. Damn. That's all I need.
That's a good start right there. So now on girl flow for getting girl flow, right? But like literally
girl flow,
but not a shop flow. This is like through Smite. Like, this is not, he's sending things to Dan and it's like middleman. It's like, no, we want to send it directly to you. Do you? And you're obviously skating at a talent level that you feel is appropriate. There's a switch that you said you didn't really recognize, but now it's like, do you understand what's happening to you?
Yeah, well, at that time, now when I'm starting to get free product, now I'm like, okay, I just felt a responsibility. I was like, all right, these guys, I'm getting DC shoes. I'm getting 2 pairs of shoes a month, and I'm getting however many boards. They're like, just tell us what you want. I'm like, that's insane. I'm starting, I'm getting Thunder and Spitfires, and now I'm like, I want this to keep coming to my doorstep for the rest of my life. Yes. I'm like, how do I do that? And the only way, I was like, I need to start filming things that could be, and you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at that, like,
that's
all right,
very, very smart thing to do, Sean.
Yeah, I'm like, this is what they're doing. I got to do things like that. So I'm like, I got to start skating nollie. I got to start skating switch. I got to start, hucking down bigger things. I got to figure this out because, Justin Eldridge did a switch flip front salad. I was like backtailing at that time. I'm like, how is that possible?
Justin Eldridge is
Costin's
crazy.
doing tray flip. Yeah.
Don't
Nollie
worry about
crook.
don't worry about nothing he doing. We'll talk. Just stay on Justin. We're not gonna talk about Eric. Don't
Yeah,
do it.
yeah. Justin Eldridge, like seriously, I remember thinking, all right, switch flip front salad, like I can't even comprehend that. And then I was like, I gotta figure this out. So I just started going skating and just like trying to figure it out. And that was the thing, you know, I was always like, I'm gonna backlip a 10 stair, you know, like that in my head. I was like, I'm gonna backlip this. I'm gonna go up to the 12, whatever. I understood that, but like
But that was the
actually,
local push though. That's what got you those things because of
yeah,
what you saw, like having the handrails around, realizing that the guys around you are 50-50, maybe crooking them. So you're like, let me one up that.
yeah.
But when you watch these videos, you're like, wait, they're flipping into it and or doing a fakie or switch, you know?
Exactly. And then that's when my skating started to evolve a little bit. And then the TM at DC, his name Heath Brinkley, he's
Yeah,
now
I don't
the
know
guy at
I don't know who
Primitive.
that is. No, I'm just playing. That's Heath Moe. Shout out Heath Moe
Yeah.
Brinkley. Go ahead.
Heath Moe. So I remember I was starting to evolve and like whatever. I my next sponsor me tape, I like went to California. I like backsmith Hollywood 16. I like did all this shit. And I remember I sent in the tape and my friends were like, this is sick. Like your tape is tight. And I'm like, thanks. Sent it in and he hit me and he was like, hey man, I need to see other stuff. Like I get you can skate handrails, but and all my friends were like, tell that dude to shut up. They're all pissed off. They're like, he's just a hater. And I was like, yeah, at the time I was like, you know what? But let me learn how to switch flip nose manual. Let me learn how to switch back tail. Let me learn how to do these things. So
Yeah.
and then Heath Moe actually kind of took me under his wing. Heath Moe was like, hey, I want to bring you out to California. I want you to stay at my house. Let's go skate these spots. Like, let's figure this out. And then
How old are you at this point? This is like when you're like 15, 16, right?
Yeah, this is when I'm 15.
Yeah.
So I go out to Heath Moe's. He like brings me to Girl. I meet all the guys. I meet like Rick Howard, Mike Carroll. I'm like tripped out. Rick Hansen, he's like, hey, did anybody give you money out here? Because I'm just like, was chilling. I was like, nah. He gave me like $200. And I was like, damn, dude, this is sick. And then, yeah, so I could like eat food, whatever. So, and then Heath would bring me to these spots. And then Heath was skating with Devin Calloway a lot. And then I started skating with Devin a lot.
Okay.
And then that's when I just saw what he could do. And then I just started feeding off of him. And then we were like skating. We skated every day for like 2 years together.
Okay.
And then, you know, I'm kind of going quick through this, and then Badass Meets Dumbass was shortly after that. Or actually, sorry, we went to Canada for Yes We Canada.
Okay. The Yes We Canada tour. Nice.
Yes We Canada tour. And that was my first trip. And Mike Moe and I, it was our first trips together.
Wow,
and I was like, I just met Mike Moe and then we roomed together. So we were just like, you know, two little kids trying to figure it out. We're like, what do we do? They're like, I don't know. Costin's coming tomorrow. Do we talk to him or do we just stay away from him? Like, what do we do?
Stay away from him, bro. Don't bring don't say
like,
don't talk about him.
Yeah.
No more, bro. Just leave Eric out
Jeremy
of
Rogers.
Jeremy
Eric. Rogers.
Yeah, bring up Jeremy. Let's talk about Jeremy. Okay, yeah. Talk about Jeremy. So
Jeremy Rogers, we're like, he's making fun of us. He's like talking shit. I'm like, I don't know how to handle it.
Because he was you guys in Yeah Right, though. Like, him and Paul are you and Mike during the Yeah Right days, which is actually kind of insane.
It's very insane.
So, oh my goodness. So, I gotta watch this real quick. Just let me soak this in real quick because you just did the salad.
Dude, I kind of locked in on the wrong side. Look, it's all heel side.
No, bro, that was so nuts. So, you go on this tour. You brought into literally this family of what is building the creative push and grace of skateboarding. The Crailtap family has everything figured out. Mike Moe's literally bar none incredible. This is when you start to come into all our lives. The internet's kind of changing.
Yeah.
More things are going faster. We're watching you guys grow up. Amazing things are happening. Like, it seems like skateboarding is going faster than ever. then you're on Etnies a couple
I'm on
years,
DC
but
still.
I'm saying you go
Yeah.
to Etnies a few years later because you're not a part of. Why didn't you? You know something that tripped me out?
What's that?
You stayed on, and you didn't during that time. You know what I'm saying? Like with DC in that time.
Yeah. All right. But you gotta think. So Heath Moe was my guy.
Of course.
That was like, that's my guy, right?
Yeah.
And they, I don't exactly know if it was more of a let go situation or if he got a better opportunity, but he left DC.
Yes.
And then this was like 2007. So I'm 17. It's summer of 2007. I'm 17, and now I'm starting to skate with Devin, and I'm starting to skate with Mikey Taylor a lot. So, you know, I'm 17. Heath Moe has kids, whatever. So he kind of pawns me off. He's like, "All right, Mikey Taylor has a house. Go stay with him." So now I'm like living at Mikey Taylor's house.
Type shit.
So I'm chilling. Heath Moe's like, "Hey, I'm leaving DC." Mikey's like, "Hey, I'm gonna ride for Etnies," and Devin's like, "I'm going too." And I'm like, "Well, these are all my friends." Tyler Bledsoe, he's like, let's do it. And I'm like,
but you've been on Girls
all
since
right,
like 2003, right? And Krill Tap got this shoe over there already.
Yes.
What happened, and why were you never on Lakai?
I probably almost got on Lakai a few times just because,
off the strength, yeah.
Whatever. It's like all in the family. I don't know. You know, I have no idea. It's one of those things where like it probably should have happened.
Exactly. That's how I feel. And it still irks me to this. Like, mind you, I love Soltec to death. That's my family. They're my guys.
Yeah.
They gave my black ass a shoe. Like, I love them. I love Soltec. But the thing that always like puzzled me, Sean, is like, bro, like, why did you, like, you were with Mike Moe, you were getting the skating, you had the entire Lakai embodiment style, just never happened.
It just, I think, so there's also like I remember there was a concern with some people that were around me. They're like, look, you know, if you go like Girl, Royal, Lakai, 4-star, you're kind of like that's it, you know?
Exactly.
And I was like, but that's the best you could get there, right? So
yes.
In my head, I was like, I know I'm putting all my bread in one basket, but that is the best basket.
That's a good ass basket. You know? That basket's got a metal. It's got a metal handle. It's a wooden basket, but the handle is metal at that time. I'm talking about.
Exactly. Shit. It was. And then, you know, but it was like, all right, I'm gonna, you know, one, I loved Thunder and Spitfire. I was like, I love Deluxe. I want to be a part of Deluxe. Because I was skating with Ernie Torres at a very young age, and he put me on to that. And I was like, all right, so I'm doing that. And then, you know, I was just skating with Mikey and Tyler and Devin and Davis Torgerson. And I was like,
Etnies is popping as well.
Yeah.
They're doing their own thing. It's really good. Ryan Sheckler's hair is flying in the wind. He on television. Like, Etnies is it's a storm of its own. It's a SoCal storm. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying like it's got like this light pocket, but I'm saying like as well as everything was going for you over at Krail Tap, just like how, you know, included low key in all the videos, things like that. There's no real girl video. They don't make anything, but you're in this. Bro, that shit always bothered me. Like, I was like, what the hell? Like, I'm growing up white with y'all. Like, I'm a little younger than y'all. So I'm like, damn, bro, why did he never go over there? I wonder if it was like politics. But you said it was like some concerns to not keep all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Stay with your boys over here. Do the Etnies thing. This thing's growing and popping for sure. They're looking for what they want to do next because, you know, Sheckler's like going off. You know, they don't have anybody really like on the ground really at Etnies. It seems like that time anyway.
Exactly.
So
and if you remember, this was the time Jason Dill wrote for Etnies too.
Wow.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that. During
Remember him
Minefield
posted
days.
up on the Range Rover with Scheffler? That was the ad that came out.
Bro. Damn,
Yeah.
during the Minefield filming days. Jeez.
Yep.
Okay, so. Yep.
It's funny you played this clip because that nose grind was supposed to be in Minefield. It was Mikey was filming for Minefield, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get there's like, let's put a guest trick in Mikey's part, and I was like, hell yeah, and I went and filmed that nose grind for Minefield, and but rest in peace, Van Wistel passed away, and that was Mikey's boy, so that just felt like more natural, and I was like, cool, all right, yeah. I'll use the nose grind for something else. But yeah, so got on Etnies. It was me, Jason Dill, Mikey,
and it was
Tyler Bledsoe.
It was sick. It was that was sick too. That Etnies reintroduction was so beast to see. We all like enjoyed that. But then time kind of goes on. A couple years go by. And Mikey gets on DC.
So same thing, Heath Moe. I feel like Heath Moe was like, hey, I'm out to Primitive. I gotta go do this thing. Paul's my boy. I'm like, of course, do what's best for you. And then so he bounces, right? And then Mikey, this is also a turn when it was like some life-changing money offers were starting to get thrown around. And it was like figures that we had never thought about before.
Conceptualize,
Couldn't comprehend what was happening. I was like, this is insane. I'm not saying we're making NBA money, but we were like, I
could buy a house and a car.
It was like,
and not die.
Exactly.
The mom's not gonna look for me.
I could buy my mom a house. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it was like, cool. So Mikey, him being older and knowing whatever, he kind of finessed DC, and then we were all going to go to DC together. Like that was the plan. Like, let's go to DC. DC was like, had these offers, but I was like, I kind of always wanted like to skate for Nike. Like I was like, Nike is sick. I love the shoes. I kind of loved what they were doing. I was like, let me just give them a little call. Let me see what's up. And there was a lot that went into it. They said no, and then they said yes, and then they said no, and then at the last minute said yes. And I was like, they're like, just fly to Portland. I flew to LA to come sign my DC contract. I was flying from KC to LA. I landed in LA, and then I get the call, can you come to Portland? And I was like, yes, I can. The next day, I flew to Portland. Yeah.
Oh, man. So now what always kind of, not to like say anything, but you didn't really have, to me, the moment of showing your significant God level of super style and talent until 2012. Like a real you moment, like focused on you, big screen part. Like you had parts and footage, like you had all these things going on. But when you got on Nike, it was like, okay, all right, for sure. Because it's like Paul had the thing, and you get on before Costin gets on, right?
No, Costin was on.
You're after.
Yeah. I'm after Costin.
My fault. So, but who came right before Costin? Who was the one that got on before that goddamn Eric? I hate him. He's so goddamn like, he's the best ever, bro. He's the best. He's the best ever.
He's the best ever.
I'm gonna go.
It was I was trying to think of like who
was it? Omar? Was it Omar or Brian?
Oh, Omar, and then there was also, Stefan and Omar were already on, and then like KB was on like right before me as well.
But that was like, those were all like little. Is Costin's birthday today?
It was yesterday.
God damn it!
You didn't wish him a happy birthday?
Oh,
damn. How old's Costin right now? Is he 40?
158. 150,000 years old. He's old as shit. He's old as dirt. Anyways, that's all I got on him. He's old as dirt. Tick, why you put that in my comments? I hate him. He's the best person ever lived. So You get on, you tell they fly, you go out to Portland, you meet up with literally them people that have
by by myself.
by yourself, yeah. Oh yeah, are you not represented at this time? You have no team, no nothing.
No.
Wow.
I'm just chilling. I'm like, I'm a skater. I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
And then so I like show up to Portland. There's like 4 gnarly dudes like just talking numbers, and I'm like, look, this is what DC offered me. Can we just get close? Like, I don't know what to.
Can we text this number?
Can we just do this? And they're like, we could get close to that. And I was like, cool, let's do this. Like that was kind of it. You know what I mean? Like that was the end of it.
I wish you would have been on Lakai. I wish you would have got on Lakai. And then
I know. But seeing where everything, how Nike is gone and everything, like, they've really supported me for straight 14 years.
I know.
now,
I've counted the years, Sean. I know.
Yeah.
I was
14,
there. I went, and that was at the time before I found out how I feel now, because I'm on, you feel me? I had some Maltos, all right? I'm not proud of myself. Yeah. I might have had the Maltos. I might have had a couple of them. Feel me? We was all going to the night, you know what I'm saying, to the store. I had to admit it, because you here. I might as well. I got to keep around my man, damn it. Yeah. So you're doing your thing over there, and now another year and a half or a year goes by, and it's time to start filming for this full length. That's just rumors that Girl wants to do another, or that Girl and Chocolate want to do another video.
Yeah, because Fully Flared really jammed up the whole thing. And everybody got scared off Fully Flared after they started filming. After that came out, they were like, it was a lot for those guys, Yeah,
bro.
So, and then they're like, we're going to do a girl video. And I was like, growing up on Yeah Right, I'm like, I cannot wait. I can't wait to start filming for this. And honestly, this is not even like being cocky. I was just skating so well for myself at the time that like I had a part ready to go at like 2009. Jeez. Like within like the first year, I was like, I'm ready. Like, let's do this.
Wow.
And then it just kept getting pushed back and kept getting pushed back. Yeah. And like, it was like, and then it was also, this was the time when free DVDs were like a big thing in magazines. Remember that?
Yep. I remember it was like the Strange Notes, all these things were coming out. Yeah.
And so basically when we go on tour, shoot photos, do something for the mag, they'd make a little free DVD. And they would always use all my footage. And I was like,
what are you doing?
I thought we were filming a video. And they're like, you'll film some more stuff. I'm like, all right, whatever.
You was like, homework done. They was like, hell no, extra credit, son. Extra credit.
I was like, I'm getting everything set. And then they're like, I'd see the free DVD come out, everything would be used, and I'm like, oh my god.
That's probably how Sheckler felt for that Plan B Supernature video when it came out with that. When he was working on his, he's supposed to be working on what would have been true. He just released his shit in the whole, you know what I'm saying?
The whole thing.
So
and I was like, what? And then whatever, but it ended up working out. Like the last like 2 years, we really like locked in, went on the road for pretty much 2 years straight and just filmed.
So you do that and you come out with, which, bro, bar none, you got a top part in existence. You 50-50 a rail in your goddamn house. You're doing really good at this point. You're skating. You have, bro, can you make it make sense that they asked you to do the 50-50 for the intro, then the same day you have to back Overcrook that 18, right?
Yep.
You're like going
same
through
day
where you're just like, they're asking you to just try shit because your consistency level. I also heard you didn't get hurt that often in that time. Like you were the guy that you did little ankle tweaks and things like that, but you were just kind of like, hey, Sean, can you do it? You're like, yeah, and you would do it. Like, hey, you want a 50-50 rail in your house? For sure.
Oh, well, yeah.
Hey, you feel like back 50 in the 18 for the intro? For sure. Like you just had it like that at that time. So
Well, you know what's funny is Raven was supposed to ollie the set. And so when I got there, they were like, Raven's not ollieing the set. And I was like, well, what are you guys gonna do? You know? And they're like, well, we have an idea. And I was like, all right, all right, all right, all right. But I was like, I was like, I could 50 this thing, no problem. Like, I don't know. I wasn't even like that scared of it. I was not ready to do it,
Yeah.
and mentally, but we got there. It was fine. And then it was one of those things where, like, the deadline kept getting pushed back in a way that, like, it almost felt like every month was the last month,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
So it was like, this is the last month. I'm doing everything I can. And that's kind of how that rail was. Like, I back 50'd it. They're like, we have it permitted. This is it. This is the last like couple weeks. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, I gotta back overcrook this thing. I have to. Like,
Yeah.
I can't not do this. So, I put everything I had in my body could offer. I actually got put in the hospital from dehydration after that, but
Damn, bro.
did the back overcrook. And then the deadline gets pushed back again.
See, see, this is when I got into the skating industry, so I started to hear
Yeah.
about these type of things like, oh, are they going to do it? Is this even real? This is when you didn't really have a lot of information about stuff, like especially in the Crail Tap world. Things weren't getting leaked. It was like that was where it was like almost everything felt protected at that time. So it's just like, is
Yeah.
this happening? But bro, you're a part of what seems to be the Yeah Right sequel. You're a part of the second coming of Yeah Right. Like, Pretty Sweet does these astronomical numbers. It actually sells as a DVD, does well on iTunes, everything. You're this household name. You're even going on tour and a girl is screaming your name, freaking out. Like, it's just like it's happening. Like, everything's happening. Gatorade helps you build a park
Yeah.
at that time, correct? Like a little after.
Yep.
You're that. The dream of I want to skate like this becomes real. You want to talk about that moment of realizing, like, bro, holy shit, like this is life.
Yeah, I mean, I was always tripped out. I remember the first time, like, getting out of the van and being like, and then people like running up and like being like, "Oh, like, can I grab your autograph?" And I'm always like, Me? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, it was never like that before. It was always everybody else,
Yeah.
and then like it was like that was like my time, and I was like, "Oh my god, like, this is insane."
Yeah.
And then, like, you start going to skate parks and people are like expecting you. They're like watching you and you're like, "Oh man, this is like weird, whatever." And then yeah, everything just started to kind of fall into place. But we were working so hard on videos, and like I was just skating street so much. And then Street League kind of started to pop off at
Yeah.
that time too. And then it was just like it just kind of shot my career and then skateboarding in a whole to like a whole nother level that I didn't even know was like possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, actually, a little before, let me take this back. I want to say 08, 09. Hold on. Let me get my search right. My bad. My math is off. My
Street
math's
League?
wrong. No, not Street League. Not Street League. Another street thing. Hold on. You're in this
Street Dreams?
You're in this other really big moment. I gotta see the year of that because it came out after it was made. I remember that, like after everybody
Yeah.
found out. You're in that. So, did any big, like, you're in that movie? I know that that's just like a skate culture film, but that's before a lot of this shit as well.
Way before.
Yeah,
But
5 years before a lot of this shit.
I think I've had maybe 3 people in my life come up to me and be like, "I've seen you in Street Dreams."
You're in the game of skate scene. So,
I was in the game of skate scene, dude. I had to play P-Rod in the game of skate, and I make it to whatever. I'm scripted to lose, but also it's P-Rod. I'm gonna lose anyways. But Paul did a nollie hard flip, and I remember like, all right, I'm gonna actually try to do it, and I tried to do it, and I was supposed to lose, but the director was like, "Hey, all right, we need to film you again. Can you just get a little bit closer, like it's like a real one?" And I was like, "I actually did try to nollie hard flip right there."
I tried as hard as
I
I
was like,
could.
"Bro, come on." I actually tried that one. You think I tried to not get close to it?
My voice said
Um,
only 3 people in
but
existence. I was like,
yeah,
but yeah, I just had to
but
like, go ahead.
I'm like getting rides around LA at the time, and like P Rod shows up. He's like in a Benz. Uh, Terry Kennedy shows up in like a Beamer, and I'm like, damn, look at these like real pro skaters. Like
Yeah,
this is sick. Like
yeah.
these dudes like another level, you know. But it was like a pretty funny like whole thing to watch P Rod film a
A
movie.
movie. Yeah, I know. Paul was
Yeah,
filming movies. You get to be a part of that. And then you say you're getting out of the van 5 years later and people have you tattooed and you have that really iconic moment with, I know everybody asks you about Shorty that like screams your name and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. But then it's just like you said, Street League happens. You win one of those. You don't win in KC. Did you win in KC?
I didn't win in
The truck
KC.
breaks,
My
the truck
truck
breaks in KC, but you win one, and
truck
then
breaks.
that propels you again, like in life, because that's when they was
Yeah,
handing out. That's when they was handing out that money right there. That's when
money,
Street League had
dude.
that money.
And it was at the time sponsors used to match.
Yep.
So
So you got money
I was like,
plus money plus money.
I would clip off 150, and then they would match up to 100 grand. So I'd get
Don't say
100 grand from other. Yeah,
not the money, Sean. Not the money. Not the money. We just
my bad. My bad.
just
Well, the
wealth.
money is public on the street
Hey,
league,
hey, but people don't search for the money. I gotta protect you the best way I can. Listen, so yeah, like you said, life is okay. Skate park in the city, Escapist. You're going back there. You're making local videos still. You still go back home, tap in. You over there living right. You don't do that.
I actually live in KC for
I know.
a lot.
I was
of
about to
this.
say that.
Yeah.
You stayed here. You
Yeah.
didn't do the LA. Even though you had LA terms of life, you didn't want that. You just wanted to go back
No.
over there and get a house for not $1 million and be good. And
Exactly.
you did such things. Was that advice given to you to do? Like to not
No,
live in LA or
everybody.
just preference?
No, everybody was like, "You got to come out to LA." That was the advice I was getting. Like, come out to LA. You have to be here. And I was always like, I love KC. I just love my routine. I love filming here. We got, Ryan Lovell was the filmer. He's dialed in. He was like, we had a sick crew. And then, I was able to get my mom a house in Leavenworth where we grew up. I was able to get myself a loft in KC. That's where the 50/50 is at.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had it set. Skate park was a mile away from my house. The shop was 2 miles away from my
Insane,
house.
bro.
I was like chilling.
I won.
And it was at such a cool time. Like, I was making some money. I was able to like go around and hang out and chill. And that was like, I had it all set. And I ran that for a long time till I was like 24.
Jeez, bro. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
smart of you. Kudos to you for real, honestly, because that was like the best
Yeah.
way to go about it. You did win, and I wish a lot of people did realize that this California shit is a joke, bro. I'm just talking to chat real quick. Like, love it here, love what it does, love the weather, but like, literally, if you do get like how you did, if you have a good opportunity to go home and live
Yeah.
somewhere not here and have a whole thing, bro. You had everything: skate park, beast, support, cameraman, everything. You had your local shop that you were with since you were a kid. I started watching you win in the way that everybody wants to. It's like almost how like rappers feel like when they're like, hey, you can move out to LA, but then they're like, nah, I'm in my hood. But you got to do it like
Yeah.
a safe way. Joaguai Mariano. I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry. Joe, I'm gonna just call you Joe. Says, why is LA better than NY to skateboard? Weather reasons is the only reason why that.
Just weather. Yeah.
Because New York has amazing spots, but with the rain, it's the crust. Like it literally just is bad because of the snow and the rain that they get. If New York had Los Angeles weather, Oh my God, how good that scene would be. Oh my God. Like, you feel me? You see what Tyshawn can do with his skateboard, only being able to skate 3 months a
Yeah,
year. Like,
that's what I'm saying. If Tyshawn can skate the spots like that, could you? Oh my God.
9 months a year, bro. Oh my God.
Jesus.
That's probably what people don't get, why he gets more credit.
Yeah.
Because they're like, you realize he's from New York, right? Like, he doesn't skate anywhere else but New York, and he's this good. All right, that's not
I
the truth.
mean,
So,
damn near lent him the Sodi Trophy already. If New York had 9 months of good weather, he might hold on to that for like 10
for
years.
real, bro. So that's oh, you're from Brazil. Okay, shout out to Brazil. Bro, stay over there if you need to. Brazil's lit, just not the terrible parts. Please get out of the terrible parts if you're there. So Sean, like I said, you started kind of unlocking life. It was like a really good thing to see how you were doing it. And then you say like 24, 25, you decide to move to Los Angeles. What was
Yeah.
what was the reason? Do you know why? Just to like kind of briefly get into it.
You start getting a little older and people get opportunities. And Ryan Level got an opportunity to go film for Vans. And your friends just have to actually come to terms with real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're a kid, you're just skating around and it's fun. And I'm not saying this is the main reason, but that's what was kind of
A part
happening.
of
And
it.
then also, I would probably travel 6 to 7 months out of the year going other places. And then on top of that, another like 2 or 3 months out of the year was just LA. So I was gone 9 months out of the year from
Damn.
KC. Like it
Wow.
was like I was fighting to get back there on weekends or certain weeks, and it was just like, okay, whatever. And I was like, let me just go out to LA. People are skating out there. And then that is when I started kicking it with Atiba really hard. And
Okay.
Atiba was like, come move into the crib. And I was like,
For
Atiba has a nice
sure.
ass house.
For
So I was
sure.
like, okay, I'll come move into Atiba's house, and then Black Bar was open, and then we were all just skating and hanging. The Atiba's house was me, this guy Wilder, Nuge, and Dylan Reeder.
Damn.
And we were like chilling. We were just skating, hanging, having such a good time. And I was like, you know what? LA's not that bad. Maybe I could do it out here.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, like with Black, and you seeing skateboard business happen. You get into your own kind of business things. You guys
Yeah.
actually strike gold with a couple of those. So it's getting a little easier. And did you hold on real quick? Somebody says Jack Stacks or Gates?
Oh, Gates for sure.
Okay, just had to ask that real quick.
That's some barbecue shit. Jack Stacks is like a nice establishment. Gates is like I actually have a Gates. I have a Gates board graphic.
Oh damn, that's actually gas. Shout out to you. I need to go try that if I ever go to, because I got to go skate the park. I have to go over there and see what's up. But so you, like you said, you start seeing people own business and stuff like that. Then you get into it yourself. I know you get a team and things like this at the time. Like you get like agents and stuff like that, management and things like this.
Yeah.
When the move happens back. But are you seeing like okay, a lot of my older guys aren't skating anymore. What's up with this? They're getting into business. What was the decision to be like, I need to make sure I have something else? Well, like, because it doesn't seem like you're like money. Not to say you're not money hungry, because you said like you've seen the Beamers, you knew about making sure you had the house, taking care of moms. But what made you be like, yo, it's time to either do this alcohol thing or try to own something? What was that about? Who got you in that mindset?
My aunt when I was like,
shit.
when I first started making money, past Kobe, my aunt she was a business consultant for McDonald's. So at a very young age, she was always like, your money is gonna run out if you're not careful. Like, you just gotta be careful, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And I had no idea how much money skating. I didn't even know, getting paid. When she was talking to me about this, I wasn't even really getting paid. So I was like, whatever. And then when I started to get paid, she started to kind of handle that for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, she was like, hey, you should buy this property or this property and figure this out, whatever. And, we made some good decisions together. And then I started, my main guys I was skating with were like P-Rod and Mikey Taylor.
Yes.
And they were like, those guys are like business guys,
Yeah.
right? So we were like, they were like, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that. Paul wants to be like Jay-Z of skating. So he's
100%.
like, and then so I just kind of gathered things from them and just like heard whatever they were doing. And then, we did well with St. Archer together, and that was great. And then, then I was like, oh, I'm gonna win all the time. And I started investing into a bunch of stuff that never panned out. and then I was like, okay, all right, hold on, let me reverse this a little bit. Let me like get back into the game, like actually like whatever. So now, I was able to invest into a couple of cool things, and yeah, and then that's just kind of like how it is. It's just trying to figure out what's next, and what it's just trying to make money in other ways too, because skating, can only provide. It's like everybody that uses their body, it's gonna run out. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to like.
So I be trying to tell these
basketball
OnlyFans
players,
girls, bro.
football players,
I try to tell these OF girls all the
It's
time.
gonna run
Son, it's
out,
gonna run out. Son, you balling now, you 0.1% now, but it's gonna run out. I'm sorry, I'm lying. I've never talked to one of them.
Save your money, invest in some cool stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of like I just slowly try to build up a portfolio of whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say I just listen to smart people. I'm not a smart person in that way. I just someone's like, you should do this, and then I have a couple guys that look at it and they either tell me yes or no, and then that's been working for me. So
there you go.
Yeah.
So no, congratulations on all the success. Literally, Sean, it's like you've kind of coursed out this really good example of life, man. Like just wanting something and actually achieving it is probably the most beast. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you real quick before I get into my kind words. Who is on your Mount Rushmore skateboarding? That's me 4 times. Don't worry about the photo. Just answer the question.
Well, I'm gonna throw Eric Costin on there, 100%. I'm sorry about that.
You have to. It's okay.
Andrew Reynolds.
Ooh.
For sure. You know what? I'm gonna keep it girl here for a second, but Rick McCrank was huge influence on me.
Okay.
And then, there's a lot out there. I'm going to just he's great skater, but off the strength of style alone, Kenny Anderson.
Wow, that is a good one. Let me go to my sound effects and give you a round of applause. Shout out to that, Sean. That is really good. Now I got to ask you one more question. What is your favorite X Games moment of all time?
My favorite X Games moment of all time. It was actually, the first X Games I've ever skated. I went to the top of the vert ramp, and because I'd never seen like pro vert skaters before, and I was like, oh my god, this is insane. You know what I mean? Because we grew up at KC, we just grew up on the streets. Like I didn't know that, whatever. So I went to the top of the vert ramp, and I remember it was Bucky Lassick was up the top, and he didn't know who I was, but I was like, what's up, dude? Like, whatever. I'm skating in the street contest. And he was like, I've never been up to something like this before. And he was like, oh, check this out. And he dropped in and he front blunted, like slid and popped in to the vert ramp. And I was like, damn, that was sick. And I know he did not win. I don't know what happened, but I was like, that was sick. And that one, I was like, that was just my first introduction to X Games.
There you go. That's super sick.
Yeah.
We love that, man. So
that was tight.
Now we're going to kind of leave off with some kind words, and then I'm going to freestyle, and then you can get out and live your life. I have this thing called 1,000,000 bars where I rap about your life. But what I'm going to tell you is, though, like, dude, literally, from that young kid with the hair, you know, obviously, like, listen to you now, try to, like, hosting contests and things like that. You are one of those legendary pieces in all our lives. You're like our generation hero, Sean. It's like, I know you're not done yet. You're still in the middle of your life. You are still ripping. You're still skating. You're representing the new youth for girl. But, bro, you're literally one of the sickest skaters ever, okay? And just people. Whenever I meet you, however you've been, it's always cool as hell. You've never changed, and I appreciate that type of person. It's like, bro, to hear your story again and know that you got that Yeah Right DVD, and then you're in Pretty Sweet, your second to last part, but it's like, bro, it was iconic that you got to live that life out and, you know what I'm saying, be a part of all that stuff. So we're really thankful for you literally repping your city, making Kansas City proud. The only thing I don't like about you, this is it. I always just leave off with kind words. Taylor Swift don't do the swag surfing right, and you ain't never told her she was doing it wrong. So I blame you.
I mean, hold on.
Shit.
Oh, God. Shit. I mean, I know.
Not the ring. Not the ring. Not the Super Bowl ring.
I mean,
not the ring. No, not the ring. When I see you, Sean, it's
I had to put it on.
just punch me when you see me, because if you don't catch me first, I swear to God, God damn it. Oh no, you did not have that ring. Did y'all see him have it on the whole time? Why do you have to do me like this? Anyways.
I knew it was gonna come up on some point. I was like, oh, no.
But, hey man, hey, literally, we played one of the best, I think, Super Bowls in the last 20 years too. So thank God for whooping our ass that way. I know. What's your favorite thing about Costin? Somebody, Yogi Burnt said. We might as well get this out the way. Let's talk about Eric real quick.
I thought we're not talking about Eric.
You were not, so forget him. All right.
Yeah.
So Sean, hold on, let me pull up in this beat real quick, and I'm gonna let you get on about your day, man. Hold on, real quick. I just do this because it's in the show algorithm. Can you hear the beat, chat? Do y'all hear the beat? Sean, do you hear it?
I don't hear it.
You don't hear nothing? No? I downloaded it.
Is it?
Hold on.
Do people hear it?
I don't know if they do. He said I do now. They hear it. You don't.
That's all right.
All right. Well, let me get into it. It's only going to be like 30 seconds or a minute. Hold on. Y'all hear me? All right. Yo, I'm mad about the Super Bowl. He really got the ring, though. That's Sean Malto. Remember the girl? She said, Sean Malto. G-Code, I got the cold flow. My boy was back in the day. He was on Girl Flow. Then he opened up the Yeah Right DVD. Couldn't believe the things he seen on TV. He grew up, then he skate for the company. He crail tap. It was a rap. Shout out Rick Howard and all of that. Brandon Beeble too, with the Feeble too. He repping the Chiefs with the Eagles too. Didn't the Eagles beat y'all? Y'all beat the Eagles too.
We won that one.
Shout out y'all. Sean Malto, man, he did it all. Hey, I got like 10 seconds on the beat. Shout out to my boy, I Forgot. He made it just for me. I'm done with the rap. I don't like Taylor Swift. She don't know how to swag and surf. She's a stupid. Nah, I ain't gonna say that because I'm gonna get canceled. And she got the #1 album in the world. All right, that wraps an episode of Grind and Unwind, episode 43. Sean Malto, we're very thankful to have you here, man. I appreciate your time. Good guy, good people, legend, hero to around the world. Stay yourself. Never be nothing else. Appreciate you, family. We out. How do I end this? I don't know how to end it. All right. Hold on. 1 second.